already come.
and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, shalom, ma.
All right.
Yeah, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Yasharel.
Oh man, Shabbat Shalom, Israel. Shabbat Shalom.
Pray that everybody is having a blessed Shabbat. When we continue into the book of Jasher, man, it's powerful books. You know, we're getting into the sons of Jacob. So get ready for a ride because, man, you're going to see some stuff that you never thought humans were capable of. This is probably where they get the X-Men and all the superhero villains from.
Man, you know that's right.
Yep.
The scriptures, baby.
That's right. All right. Hey, go ahead and turn to the book of Jubilees. We're going to go ahead and get into our scripture reading. Whether I can read the first, you need to read the 7 through 10, and you want to get the rest?
All right, that'll work.
With the 7 through 11. Okay. All right, Yasharel. Let's get it. Already should be there already. Book of Jubilees, starting with verse 7. Says, and thus it will come to pass when all these things come upon them, that they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments, in all their actions, and will recognize that I have been truly with them. And do you write for yourselves all these words which I declare unto this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land of which I swore to their fathers, to Abraham and to Jacob and Isaac and Jacob, saying, unto your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey. And they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange Elohims, to Elohims which cannot deliver them from all of their tribulations, and the witness shall be heard for a witness against them. For they will forget all my commandments. And that's exactly the time we're living in now with our people. Even all that I commanded them, and they will walk after other nations. You know, it's crazy how like our people, like you have our people, they getting into this whole African American thing. Now it's what they call it, FBA's Foundational Black America. You know, at the end of the day, our enemies don't give a damn two rats what we call ourselves. You know, the only languages they speak is they only speak three languages. That's money, weapons, and war. That's all they know. But our people get caught up in all this crazy play on words, FBAs, you know, Hotep brothers and conscious brothers. And it's like, man, our people are just constantly scrambling for identities when it's right there in front of their faces who they really are. And after their uncleanness and after their shame, and will serve their Elohim, and these will prove unto them an offense and a tribulation and an affliction and a snare.
I think I read 11 too, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll it up though. All
right, bet. All right, and many will perish, and they will be taken captive. And this is why we, you know, if your last name, you have a European last name, more than likely, some European or German owned your ancestors, and will fall into the hands of the enemies because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments, and the feast of my covenant and my Shabbats, and my holy place, which I have sanctified for myself in the midst, and my tabernacle and my sanctuary, which I have sanctified for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. Praise the Most High.
That's right. And they will make to themselves high places and Asherah poles and graven images. That's like totem poles, you know, Asherah poles, you know, this is false gods and graven images and things like that. Like we had read before, that Abraham's father was worshiping, right? And they will worship each his own graven image as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to devils and to all the works of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear. And they will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those that seek the Torah, and they will abrogate and change everything as to work evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them in the hand of the other nations for captivity, and for a prey, and for devouring. And I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them among the other nations. Now, if that's not the truth, I don't know what is. Right? We have definitely been scattered to the four corners of the earth amongst the rest of the nations. Right? And we've definitely been a prey and a devouring, and we still see it today.
Exactly.
And they will, right? And they will forget all my Torah, and all my commandments and all my judgments, right? And this has got to be a fact, because if we did remember the Torah, right? If we did remember the Most High's commandments that He had passed down to us from Hamashiach, we wouldn't be in these Christian churches. We wouldn't be in all these other false religions or anything, right? This is the truth, right? We won't be out there celebrating the 4th of July or any of these other, wild holidays, that these heathens come up with. Instead, right, the scriptures say, we're going to forget all the Torah, all my commandments, and all the judgments, right? Because we have to forget the judgments of what it means to worship false gods, or what it means to be in the Christian churches, right? When you're literally desecrating your soul and you're headed for destruction. And we'll go astray as to the new moons, right? Like we don't, us as a people, we don't celebrate the new moons, and the Sabbaths and the feasts and the Jubilees and the ordinances. And after all this, they will turn from me from amongst the other nations, and with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength, I will gather them from amongst the other nations, and they will seek me. So I shall be found of them when they seek me with all of their heart and with all of their soul. This goes into what Brother Daniel's always saying, that, he doesn't believe it's going to be a grand rising of the people, right? If really, and then if you really look at it right here, it really says that after, it's going to be a grand rising of the people after Hamashiach comes back, because it says, and after this, they will turn to me from amongst the other nations with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength, and I will gather them from amongst all the other nations, and they will seek me, so I shall be found of them. So once the Most High has gathered us, right, we'll start to seek Him. But it also says in other scriptures that He will root out the ones that are rebellious.
That's right.
Right.
It's interesting, man. On that note, before we get into our readings, our people, man. I did a video a couple days ago on the Torah is our culture, and it's funny that our people, when they talk about so-called black culture, that's destructive culture, because that type of culture, man, is still leaning on all the other nations, and you're taking bits and pieces of the other nations because you're still celebrating the holidays. You're still going to Christian churches. You still praise your government name, at the same time, not realizing that the Torah is your culture, because we lost, just like the scripture says, we lost all of it. We lost our language. We lost our heritage. We've been stripped of everything, and this is why our people are just scrambling. That's why they're so lost today.
Man.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Verse 17. Right. Well, it says they will seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. Right. That's because we're going to have the Most High right there. Well, we're going to have Hamashiach right there in front of us. Right.
That's right.
So it says, and I will disclose to them an abounding peace with righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my soul, with all my heart and with all my soul, and they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse, and they shall be the head and not the tail. Right. And this is also, right, a cut to those people that are, calling themselves, Jews, right? Because the scriptures say that the Most High is going to send Hamashiach back, right, to gather us from amongst all the other nations and then bring us into the land. That has not happened yet. So that those are not the people of the Most High, but instead they are the synagogue of Satan, like it says in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. All right. Let's switch to the reading. I believe the reading is on me. All right.
Yes, sir. 11:31. Yep.
Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Give them.
No. Yeah. So basically, we read in verse chapter 30. Actually, started in 29 and 30. It started getting into kind of gave the lineage of Esau. Because he's going to be pretty much out the scene at this point until he comes back in. Later on with his descendants. But this is going to be getting in more into the sons of Jacob, responsibilities and all that. So we'll just keep reading till the Spirit leads, and then we'll break off, and we'll give anybody, a chance to come on if they want to come on the live, in the background. So you want to whatever fellowship, or you got some questions or anything like that, or if there's something that you still confused about Esau, hey, we're willing to take on the challenges.
That's right. Con, all praises. Oh
Praise
man.
praise to the Most High.
All right. One of the hidden books, Jasher, chapter 31 and verse 31. And Jacob served Laban 6 years longer. And when the sheep brought forth, Jacob removed from them such as were speckled and spotted, and he had determined with Laban. And Jacob did so at Laban for 6 years, and the man increased abundantly, and he had cattle and maid servants and men servants, camels and asses. And Jacob had 200 drove of cattle, and his cattle were of large size, of beautiful appearance, and were very productive. And all the families of the sons of men desired to get some of the cattle of Jacob, for they were exceedingly prosperous. Right. So we see that Jacob was coming up, man. The Most High allowed him to get and separate the the spotted and the speckled cattle, right, from Laban. And then on top of that, right, this is why Laban was trying to keep him on the land for so long, because through Jacob, the Lord was also blessing Laban. But at this particular time, right, it was time for Jacob to move on. So as soon as Laban had granted him the right to separate the cattle, man, we see how the Lord had began to bless Jacob, and everything that he had put his hands on began to multiply. Right. And many of the sons of men came to produce some of Jacob's flocks. And Jacob gave them a sheep for a manservant or a maidservant, or an ass or a camel, or whatever Jacob desired from them, they gave them. Man, back in these days, man, you'll be able to trade a heathen for a donkey. Man, let me get I'll trade a donkey for Biff over there. You know what I mean? Let me get yeah. This is wild. And Jacob obtained riches and honor and possessions by means of these transactions with the sons of men. And the children of Laban envied him of this honor. In the course of time, he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob has taken away all was that our fathers, and of that which that was our fathers, that he has acquired all this glory, right? Saying that Laban stole from Jacob, basically. Right. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban and his children, and behold, it was not toward him in those days as it had been before, right? So they started to hate on him, right? Turned sour because of Jacob's come up. And the Lord appeared to Jacob in the expiration of 6 years, and he said to him, arise and go forth out of this land and return to the land of thy birthplace, and I will be with thee. And Jacob rose up at that time, and he mounted his children and wives and all belonging to him among camels. And he went forth to go to the land of Canaan, to his father Isaac. And Laban did not know that Jacob had gone from him, for Laban had been that day sheep shearing. And Rachel stole her father's images, and she took them, and she concealed them upon the camel, which she sat, and she went on. All right, let me scroll to 41. All
right. As you was reading that, man, and I had no way of proving it, but I can just only imagine, man, what's going on through Jacob's mind. Just, man, I'm gonna get this rascal back, man, for trying to make me wait 7 more years for Rachel.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
man. I'll tell you, man, that Jacob, man, he's a little cunning, man. All right, verse 41. And this is the manner of the images. And taking a man who is the firstborn and slaying him, and taking the hair of his head, and taking salt and salting the head, and anointing it in oil, then taking a small tablet of copper or a tablet of gold, and writing the name upon it, and placing the tablet under his tongue, and taking head with the tablet under the tongue, and putting it in the house, and lighting up lights before it, and bowing down to it.
What?
And I know, it's crazy. And at the time when they bow down to it, it speaketh to them in all manners that they ask of it. That's almost damn like a damn Ouija board, through the power of the name which is written in it.
Hey, yeah, that does sound like one of the Ouija boards. Mm-hmm. They're dealing with those Nephilim spirits, the demons.
And some make them in the figures of men, of gold and silver, and go to them in the times known to them, and the figures receive the influence of the stars, and tell them future things, And in this manner were the images which Rachel stole from her father.
I bet you these heathens are still using this technology today.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, yeah. You know,
You
when
know
the
what I
you know
mean?
when the scripture speaks of men of renown, they still had that knowledge. Because remember, man, and if I'm not mistaken, I gotta research it more, but I want to believe that uh, Noah's sons, one of the daughters, still had some of that Nephilim gene. I gotta go back and read though, man. But I know that she came from a line where there was some knowledge, and that stuff was still carried on even through Nimrod and what have you, man. So even today, I believe that they still practice that stuff. What they call the you ever heard of the Tibetan yogi black magicians?
Yeah, I heard of that before.
They still practice a lot of that stuff through meditation and different things. There might be some truth to that stuff, but I know that the Most High, what's secret is secret, what's revealed is revealed. So verse 44. And Rachel stole these images, which were her father's, in order that Laban might not know through them where Jacob had gone. And Laban came home and asked concerning Jacob and his household, and he was not to be found. And Laban sought his images to know where Jacob had gone, and could not find them. And he went to some other images, and he inquired of them, and they told him that Jacob had fled from him to his fathers, to the land of Canaan. And Laban rose up, and he took his brothers and all his servants, and he went forth and pursued Jacob, and he overtook him in the Mount Galilee. And Laban said unto Jacob, what is this thou hast done to me to flee and deceive me, and lead my daughters and their children as captives taken by the sword?
What?
Go to all kinds of stuff, man. And thou didst and thou didst not suffer me to kiss them and send them away with joy. And thou didst steal my gods and didst go away. And Jacob answered Laban, saying, because I was afraid lest thou wouldest take my daughters by force from me, and now with whomever thou findest thy gods, he shall die. I guess up to verse 50.
Well, man, that just lets you know how strong the father presence was in the home back then.
Yes, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like some man just can't come up there and take your daughter and do whatever the hell he wanted. You know what I mean? The father had pretty much main control over and he had to make sure the dude that she went to was like a good dude, or he'll be killed.
And it's been that way for thousands of years, man. Like this whole thing with no fathers in the home, man, this is a new concept, man. This is like never seen before, never recorded in the scriptures. All right. Verse 50. Yeah. And Laban searched for the images, and he examined in all of Jacob's tent and furniture, but could not find them. So yeah, man, basically, because remember Laban too, man, he wasn't quite, he wasn't from the chosen seed, but he still had his gods, and and they still did a lot of crazy stuff.
And Laban said unto Jacob, we will make a covenant together, and it shall be a testimony between me and thee. And if thou shalt afflict my daughters, or shalt take another wives besides my daughters, even God shall be a witness against Salakia. God shall be a witness between me and thee in this matter. And they took stones and made a heap. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee. Therefore he called the name thereof Gilead. And Jacob and Laban offered sacrifice upon the mount, and they ate thereby the heap. And they tarried in the mount all night. And Laban rose up early in the morning, and he wept with his daughters, and he kissed them, and he returned them into his place. 100% that Laban's daughters knew the way of the Lord, because this is 100% who they're sacrificing to when they offer sacrifice upon the mount. This is only to the Most High, which is probably why the Most High had told Jacob to get the daughters from because they still had the teachings. And he hastened and sent off his son Beor, who was 17 years old, with Israel, I don't know about this name, Abed-Kopharoth, maybe, all right, the son of Uz, the son of Nahor, and with them were 10 men. And they hastened and went and passed on the road before Jacob, and they came by another road to the land of Seir. And they came unto Esau and said unto him, Thus saith thy brother and relative, thy mother's brother Laban, the son of Bethuel, saying, Hast thou heard what Jacob thy brother has done unto me? Who first came to me naked and bare, and I went to meet him and brought him in my house with honor, and I made him great, and I gave him my 2 daughters for wives, and also 2 of my maids. This is crazy, because little does he know it was the Most High that made him great, right? And God blessed him on my account, and he increased abundantly, and had sons and daughters and maidservants. He is also an immense flock. He also has an immense flock of stock. Let me read that again. He has also an immense stock of flocks and herds, camels and asses, also silver and gold in abundance. And when he saw that his wealth increased, he left me whiles I went to shear my sheep. And he rose up and fled in secrecy. And he lifted his wives and children upon camels, and he led away all his cattle and property which he acquired in my land, and lifted it up his countenance to go to his father Isaac to the land of Canaan. Well, man, why this man is butthurt about nothing when he's the one who first started it?
Because he got a taste of his own medicine. That's why. He got tricked. And what is it called? Supplant. What is Jacob's name known as a supplanter? Which means trickster. So guess what? Laban got a taste of his own medicine, man. That's why he's butthurt.
Jacob wasn't playing that.
Verse 61. And he did not suffer me to kiss my daughters and their children, and he led my daughters as captives taken by the sword. You see how he's changing up words? And he also stole my gods, and he fled. Oh man, this dude is on a trip. And now I have left him in the mountain of the brook of Jabbok, him and all belongings to him, and he lacked nothing. If it be thy wish to go to him, go then, and there wilt thou find him, and thou canst do unto him as thy soul desireth. And Laban's messengers came and told Esau all these things. And Esau heard all the words of Laban's messengers, and his anger was greatly kindled against Jacob. And he remembered his hatred, and his anger burned within him. Told you he was going to get back to Esau again for a little bit. And Esau hastened and took his children and servants and the souls of his household, being 60 men, and he went and assembled all the children of Seir and Hurite and their people, being 340 men, and took all this number of 400 men with drawn swords, and he went unto Jacob to smite him. All right, man. So we're about to see what's going to happen here. And Esau divided his numbers into several parts, and he took the 60 men of his children and servants and the souls of his household as one head, and gave them in care of Eliphaz, his eldest son. And the remaining heads he gave to the care of 6 sons of Seir and Hurite. And he placed every man over his generations and children. And the whole of his camp went as it was, and Esau went amongst them towards Jacob, and he conducted them with speed. And Laban's messengers departed from Esau and went to the land of Canaan. And they came to the house of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. And they told her, saying, Thy son Esau has gone against his brother Jacob with 400 men, and he heard that he was coming, and he is gone to make war with him, and to smite him, and to take all that he has. All right. It's amazing, man, how the Most High always preserves his people, man. He always protects in the time of need, And imagine back then, man, no mode of communication, man. No guns, none of that stuff, man. Just straight up swords, man, and slings or whatever you can project or something.
Wow, man. Mm-hmm. And Rebekah hastened and sent 72 men from the service of Isaac to meet Jacob on the road. For she said, peradventure, Esau may make war in the road when he meets him. And these messengers went on the road to meet Jacob, and they met him in the road of the brook on the opposite side of Jabbok. And Jacob said when he saw them, "This camp is destined to me from God." And Jacob called the name of that place Machnaim, Machnaim, Salakia, right? And Jacob knew all his father's people, and he kissed them and embraced them, and he came with them. And Jacob asked them concerning his father and mother, and they said they were well. And these messengers said unto Jacob, "Rebekah, thy mother, has sent us to thee, saying, I have heard thy son, thy brother Esau, has gone forth against thee on the road with men from the children of Seir, the Horite." Wait, hey, I think the Horites, right? They come from Japheth, don't they? If you don't mind looking that up for me, I think they come from Japheth, because I think I heard someone saying that, because Esau mixed with the Horites, that it's possible for them to be white men or something like that. But they got to remember, during this time, right? Everybody's still black, right?
Yeah, everybody's still black.
Everybody's still black during this time.
But even if they mix with Horites, even in this current day, they wouldn't be Esau anymore, because Esau
absolutely
wiped out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll look that up.
Yeah. I mean, just verify. I can't remember. All right. Verse 75. And therefore, my son, hearken to my voice and see with thy counsel, what thou wilt do. And when he cometh up to thee, so supplicate him, and do not speak rashly to him, and give him a present from what thou possessest, and from what God has favored thee with. And when he asketh thee concerning thy affairs, conceal nothing from him. Perhaps he may turn from his anger against thee, and thou wilt thereby save thy soul, thou and all belonging to thee. For it is thy duty to honor him, for he is thy elder brother. And when Jacob heard the words of his mother, which the messengers had spoken to him, Jacob lifted up his voice and wept bitterly, and did then his mother commanded him. He did as his mother commanded him. Right. Hey,
before you read on, it makes sense, man. Horites were not from the line of Japheth. They were from the line of Ham. Because remember, man, Esau married Canaanite women. He married Canaan. So he married into the whole realm of Canaan. So the ancient Horites are historically and biblically associated with Ham, not Japheth.
God, I can't remember, man. Somebody Esau got mixed up with, man. I'll remember in a minute. Just give me a second.
Yeah, it wasn't the Horites, but all the descendants, man, according to the scriptures, were mostly Canaan, Hamites. Now, maybe later on down the line in the future, but even mixed Chittim?
It was children of Chittim. Yeah, the children of Chittim. I think they're from Japheth.
I think Chittim is also Canaan. Let me see.
I think the children of Chittim are from Japheth, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But this is way down later on into the chapter. We end up figuring out that they got mixed up with them. But still, though, this is still towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's on you, Wak. That was the last verses on that one.
Okay.
We on 32.
Let's get it. 132. Let's get it. All right. And at that time, Jacob sent messengers to his brother Esau toward the land of Seir, and he spoke to him words of supplication. And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall ye say to my lords, to Esau, Thus saith thy servant Jacob, let thy Lord imagine my father's blessing with which he did bless me has proved beneficial to me. For I have been these 20 years with Laban, and he deceived me and charged my wages 10 times, as it had all been already told unto my Lord. And I served him in his house very laboriously, and God afterwards saw my affliction, my labor, and my work of my hands, and he caused me to find grace and favor in his sight. And afterwards, through God's great mercy and kindness, acquired oxen and asses and cattle and men servants and maid servants. I'm gonna scroll it up to 6.
I got you, brother.
And now I am coming to my land and my home, to my father and mother, who are in the land of Canaan, And I have sent to let my Lord know all his in order to find favor in the sight of my Lord, so that he may not imagine that I have myself obtained wealth, or that the blessings with which my father blessed me has benefited me. And those messengers went to Esau and found him on the borders of the land of Edom, going towards Jacob. And 400 men of the children of Seir, the Horite, were standing with drawn swords. And the messengers of Jacob told Esau all the words that Jacob had spoken to them concerning Esau. And Esau answered them with pride and contempt, and said unto them, Surely I have heard, and truly it has been told unto me what Jacob has done to Laban, who exalted him in his house, and gave him his daughters for wives. And he begot sons and daughters, and abundantly increased in wealth and riches in Laban's house through his means.
That man's so ready to that man's so ready to hate.
Yeah.
You know, I heard what you did. I'm just gonna believe Laban off the top.
Yeah. And when he saw this, his wealth was abundant and his riches great, and fled all the belongings to him and Laban's house. And he led Laban's daughters away from the face of their father as captives taken by the sword without telling him of it.
And not only to Laban has Jacob done this, but also unto me has he done so, and has twice supplanted me. And shall I be silent? Man, he was so ready to believe that, man, because he believed that his birthright was taken, but it was his fault. He the one sold it. And therefore, I have this day come with my camps to meet him, and I will do unto him according to the desire of my heart. And the messengers returned and came to Jacob and said unto him, We came to thy brother Esau, and we told him all thy words, and thus he answered us. And behold, he cometh to meet thee with 400 men. And then know and see what thou shalt do, and pray before God to deliver thee from him. And when he heard the words of his brother, which he had spoken to the messengers of Jacob, Jacob was greatly afraid, and he was distressed. Right? Remember, this is the same scripture. I mean, this is the same story that we got in Genesis. Right? And Jacob prayed to the Lord his God, and he said, O Lord God of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, thou didst say unto me when I went away from my father's house, saying, I am the Lord God of thy father Abraham, and the God of Isaac. Unto thee do I give this land, and thy seed after thee, and I will make thy seed as the stars of heaven, and thou shalt spread forth to the four sides of heaven, and in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And thou didst establish thy words, and didst give unto me riches and children and cattle, as the utmost wishes of thy heart didst thou give unto my servant, and thou didst give unto me all that I asked from thee, so that I lack nothing. And thou didst afterward say unto me, Return to thy parents and to thy birthplace, and I will still do well with thee. And now that I've come, and thou didst deliver me from Laban, I shall fall in thy hands of Esau, who will slay me, yea, together with thy mothers of my children. Scroll up. All right, Doc.
All right, that's good. Verse 21, Now therefore, O Lord God, deliver me, I pray thee, also from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am greatly afraid of him. And if there be no righteousness in me, do it for the sake of Abraham and my father Isaac. For I know that through kindness and mercy have I acquired this wealth. Now therefore I beseech thee to deliver me this day with kindness, and to answer me. And Jacob ceased praying to the Lord, and he divided the people that were with him with the flock and cattle into two camps. And he gave the half to the care of Demasek, the son of Eliezer, and Abraham's servant, for a camp with his children, and the other half he gave to the care of his brother Elianus, the son of Eliezer, to be for a camp with his children. And he commanded them, saying, keep yourselves at a distance with your camps, and do not come too near each other. And if Esau come to one camp and slay it, the other camp at a distance from it will escape him. Now, there's some skillful planning right there.
No, that's right. Sloppy.
And Jacob tarried there that night, and during the whole night he gave his servants instructions concerning the forces and his children. And the Lord heard the prayer of Jacob on that day. And the Lord then delivered Jacob. What's that?
I said, let's go. The Lord heard the prayer.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And the Lord heard the prayer of Jacob on that day. And the Lord then delivered Jacob from the hands of his brother Esau. And the Lord sent 3 angels of the angels of heaven, and they went before Esau and came to him. And these angels appeared to Esau and his people as 2,000 men, riding upon horses furnished with all sorts of war instruments. And they appeared in the sight of Esau and all his men to be divided into 4 camps, with 4 chiefs to them. And one camp went on, and they found Esau coming with 400 men toward his brother Jacob. And this camp ran towards Esau and his people and terrified them. And Esau fell off the horse in alarm, and all his men separated from him in that place, for they were greatly afraid. Probably like giants on the horses, man.
It's all like the scriptures, man. The scriptures tell you the truth. Just like people when they talk about, oh man, we don't know what happens after you die. Nobody's ever seen it. Yeah, man. It's already been recorded that people have seen what'll happen when you die and then when they resurrect, right? We've already had a resurrection of people that's come back from the dead before.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta believe the writings.
Mm-hmm.
It says, verse 31, and the whole of the camp shouted after them when they fled from Esau, and all the warlike men answered, saying, surely we are the servants of Jacob, who is the servant of God, and who then can stand against us? And Esau said unto them, O then my Lord and brother Jacob is your Lord, whom I have not seen for these 20 years. And now that I have this day come to see him, do you treat me in this manner? And the angels answered him, saying, as the Lord liveth, we're not Jacob, of whom thou speakest, thy brother. We had not let one remaining from thee and thy people, but only on account of Jacob we will do nothing to them. And this camp passed from Esau and his men and went away, and Esau and his men had gone from them about a league, when the second camp came toward them with all sorts of weapons, and they also did unto Esau as his men, as the first camp had done to them. And when they had left to go on, behold, the third camp came toward the third camp came toward them, and they were all terrified that Esau fell off the horse. And the whole camp cried out and said, surely we are the servants of Jacob, who is the servant of God, who can stand against us? And Esau again answered them, saying, O then Jacob my Lord, and your Lord is my brother. And for 20 years I have not seen his countenance, and hearing this day that he was coming, I went this day to meet him, and do you treat me in this manner? And they answered him and said unto him, as the Lord liveth, were not Jacob thy brother, as thou didst say, we had not left a remnant from thee and thy man, but on the account of Jacob, whom thou speakest, being thy brother, we will not meddle with thee or thy men. So in other words, he said, hey man, you better be glad you said Jacob was your brother. We're gonna kill all y'all, not leave a single one left. Right? And the third camp also passed from them, and he still continued on his road with his men toward Jacob, when the fourth camp came toward them, and they also did unto them as his men, as what the others had done. And when Esau beheld the evil which the 4 angels had done to him, evil in his eyes, righteousness in Jacob's eyes, right? And when Esau beheld the evil which the 4 angels had done to him and to his men, he became greatly afraid of his brother Jacob, and he went to meet him in peace. That's right. Get right. That's how these nations gonna come to us, right? After Hamashiach strike they behind down. And Esau concealed his hatred against Jacob, because he was afraid of his life on the account of his brother Jacob, and because he imagined that the 4 camps that he had lighted upon were Jacob's servants.
Something else, man.
Bring it out, Doc.
And Jacob tarried that night with his servants in their camps. And he resolved with his servants to give unto Esau a present from all that he had with him and from all his property. And Jacob rose up in the morning, he and his men, and they chose from amongst the cattle a present for Esau. And this is the amount of the presents which Jacob chose from his flock to give unto his brother Esau. And he selected 240 head from the flocks. And he selected from the camels and asses 30 each. And of the herds, he chose 50 kine. Yeah. And he put them all in 10 droves. And he placed each sort by itself. He delivered them into the hands of 10 of his servants, each drove by itself. And he commanded them and said unto them, keep yourselves at a distance from each other, and put a space between the droves. And when Esau and those who are with him shall meet you and ask, saying, whose are you? And whither do you go? And to whom belongeth to all before you? You shall say unto them, we are the servants of Jacob, and we come to meet Esau in peace. And behold, Jacob cometh behind us. Let's scroll that up. There you go. All right. And that which is before us is prepared, sent from Jacob to his brother Esau. And if they shall say unto you, why doth he delay behind you from coming to meet his brother and to see his face? Then you shall say unto him, surely he cometh joyfully behind us to meet his brother. For he said, I will appease him with the presence that goeth to him. And after this, I will see his face. Peradventure, he will accept of me. So the whole present passed on in the hands of his servants and went before him on that day. And he lodged that night with his camps by the border of the brooks of Jabbok. And he rose up in the midst of the night, and he took his wives and his maid servants and all belonging to him. And he that night passed them over the ford Jabbok. It says, and when he passed all belongings to him over the brook, Jacob was left by himself, and a man met him, and he wrestled with him that night until the breaking of day. And he hollowed Jacob's thigh, was out of joint through wrestling with him. And we already know who that is, because in Genesis, it goes into a little more detail about him wrestling with the angel. And at the break of day, the man left Jacob there, and he blessed him and went away. And Jacob passed the brook at the break of day, and he halted upon his thigh. He halted upon his thigh. So he kind of like hopping and stuff, man. Dang,
what?
You must have been some pain, boy.
Hey, Israel, what else happened during this time? I'm not going to tell you, right? But what was the when he said that he blessed them, right? What did he bless them with, right? You know what I'm saying? What was Jacob blessed with, right? After the wrestling match for Hamashiach? Go ahead, Salakia.
And the sun rose upon him when they had passed the brook, and he came up to the place of his cattle and children.
All right. I'm wait a few seconds and see if they.
Yep. Waiting for the replies.
Star 51. Right here when Brother Daniel was reading, right, it says verse 49 right here, where Jacob got his blessing. What was he blessed with? All right. What was Jacob blessed with? Come on, Israel. I might just told him the answer right there. All right.
Give the answer out. If they don't get it in the next few seconds. Hold on.
Look at Dre P, always on point. Brother Dre P. And what was the new name, Brother Dre P? Come on, Pops, man. We know you already know. Old Pops. Come on, Pops. We know you know already. You taught me. Yeah. So the new name, right? His name got changed to Israel, right?
Yep.
His name got changed to Israel.
And that will mark the beginning. See, that's a continuation, because when you really think about it, who did the promise start with, right? It started with Abraham. All right, and so that angel just confirmed it. Hamashiach confirmed it. He says, okay, I'm going to follow through with the promise I made to Abraham. So now I'm coming in your time, and I'm going to change your name to confirm that, to solidify everything. And you are now Israel. And that's where the whole Israel comes from, Israelites. Prior to that, there was no such thing as Israelites.
Let me see. What is this? Genesis 32, maybe? Let's go. Salakia, all right?
I think it was on you. I think it was on you too.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's on me. So I wanted to bring out when exactly this happened, right? So boom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And see, so right here, right? I'm just gonna read this particular this particular instance right here so we can see, right? Now right here, well, this is the same thing that we just read, right? So like, how do I get this off? Get out of here. No. All right, that's good enough. All right, that's good. All right, boom. Oh, Slocky, that wasn't even the one I was trying to highlight. All right, so this is the exact same situation right here, right? So it says, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was at a joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me, right? So Jacob, man, he was getting it in. Like, hey, he didn't care, right? He was getting it in, right? Because he knew by the presence and the strength of the being that he was wrestling, right? It had to be an upper being, right? A higher being. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel, right? Or Yasher in the Hebrew. For as a prince, thou hast power with God and with men, and hast prevailed, right? So this is where we get our name from. This is how we got our name, right? This is how we became Israelites. It's because Jacob was wrestling with an angel, right? And he says, and so let's go back to, all right, Salakia, right? That's a good job, Ezra. So during that particular time, see, and this is why all the books are necessary. Even when we read in, things of that nature, right? We're able to cross-reference. Like you're able to cross-reference all the lineages, everything that you have, all the stories in each of these books: Enoch, Jasher, Jubilees. All these books, they coincide together. I know I say this time and time again, but I promise you, if somewhere along the lines, if it seems that it's some kind of contradictory scriptures, I promise you, it's just your thinking is flawed, right? You have to pray. You have to pray to the Most High to give you wisdom and understanding, and soon you'll come to the light. Right?
Well, this like without the book of Enoch, you would never understand the whole nature of the fallen angels.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like a gap filler when you talk about the lost books, and it helps ties in the loose pieces that really Genesis and the regular books don't really go into detail on.
Why do camps change the genealogy or lineage of the sons of Jacob and the people they teach outside the laws of God, include all kinds of mix of mean? Hey, of course. Well, you gotta remember, brother. It says that the amount of people that are going to get saved is a wave compared to a drop, right? The way to the Most High, right? The way to get to the kingdom is small. It's not going to be a lot of people that's going to be going, right? So there's going to be a lot of false doctrines around, a lot of false prophets, and you have to be circumspect, man. You got to study. Yeah. That's why the scriptures, tell you, like one of Brother Daniel's favorite scriptures is, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, right? You got to work it out on your own with fear and trembling.
Yeah. And you got to read the scripture. Study the word, that you may be approved, and to answer that, to also add on to that account, I've done plenty of videos, brother Aiton done plenty of videos, and the reason why they teach the mixture of different races like that is because there's a guy named Ariel claimed he had a dream. All right, they came up with that chart, and so when they came up with that chart, they started including. But here's the catch-22 on that one. They had to do a 501c3. Yeah, where they're listed under Islam. You can look up IUIC. All of them are listed under Islam because they have to choose a religion in order for you to have a 501c3. You have to choose a religion, and you cannot discriminate. So in order for them to not get in trouble, they came up with this little false chart saying that white people can come in, because we know that the people they're talking about, the Mexicans, Hispanics, Latinos, those are the white-blooded ones. Those are the European ones that they allow in their camps. We know that's against the scriptures, because every nation looks like their own all of a sudden, except for us. We get to us. Why do we look like everybody else? Why do we look like white people? That's not what the scripture says. The Israelites, the ancient Israelites, were black back then, and they're still black today. They look just alike. So,
facts. The true word of God can't be, what is that? Be put under control by the government. It's separate.
Yep.
Verse number 51, Jasher 32. Right, and they went on till midday while they were going to presence and before them. Right, this is a story we're just reading in Genesis. Salakia. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau was at a distance, coming along with many men, about 400. And Jacob was greatly afraid of his brother. And Jacob hastened and divided his children up, his wives and his handmaids and his daughter Dinah. He put in a chest and delivered her into the hands of his servants. Hey man, that must be something famous going on around the family. Hey man, put the girls in the chest and hide them. You know what I'm saying? Because Abraham did the same thing to Sarah, man. That's just man. Anyways, it says, and he passed before his children and wives to meet his brother, and he bowed down to the ground. Yea, he bowed down several times until he approached his brother. And God caused Jacob to find grace and favor in the sight of Esau and his men, for God had heard the prayer of Jacob. You know what's funny, man? You know that the custom of Asians is to bow, to show respect, right? It's funny, man, is that this used to be our custom of our people, and that how lost we are. You know what I mean? Being amongst the heathens, that we don't even bow to each other to show respect, especially the elders or any of that stuff. It's just,
Well, you gotta understand too, man. Like the Asiatic, you're right, because like if you even look at Asian man, they're still black. All these nations, like people, man, white people, and it's a mystery. I'm not gonna say that like came from. I say it's possibly from the Jasher, but man, that there was some kind of experiment or something that created these people from a laboratory, because the whole world was black at one time, and so all these customs that came from that you see that these cultural practices has been taken from our culture. Right, this is something that we did, and that was a practice of mostly of Noah's sons. All right, and they just continued on, throughout the situation. That's why you see, like, if you visit like Painted Caves, different places, in the United States and across the world, you may see some bits and pieces of Hebrew writings. Doesn't mean that they were Israelites. It just means that was the universal language at the time. And this is why like a lot of our people get mixed up. They say because they found like Hebrew inscription writings that the Hebrews were here first. No, it's just that Hamites, they also knew Hebrew. They also knew the writings.
Right. But also one other thing that I wanted to show, like besides the bowing and the showing respect, right, to your older brother or whatever, right, or just showing respect in general. It also said in the end of 54, and God had heard the prayer of Jacob. Notice, right? Before Jacob did anything of any serious note, or he fell in the, he always asked the Most High for protection, for wisdom, right? For guidance through these situations. The same thing with Abraham, right? All the great ones that come after it, right? You have to pray, you have to ask the guidance and the wisdom of the Lord, and that's the only way that you'll be able to make it through, right? You ever notice that the folks that never asked for the guidance and the blessings of the Lord and always broke the Torah, what happened to them in the scriptures, right? They got destroyed. Lord opened up the ground on them, right? Got them sucked up, right? Spontaneous combustion, all kinds of stuff, man. The Lord just be hitting them with when you just don't obey. Verse 55, and the fear of Jacob and his terror fell upon his brother Esau. For Esau was greatly afraid of Jacob for what the angels of God had done to Esau. And Esau's anger against Jacob was turned into kindness. And when Esau saw Jacob running toward him, he also ran toward him, and he embraced him, and they fell upon his neck, and they kissed and they wept, right? So for those that believe that Esau is a white man, this is what you're going to be doing? you're gonna see your white. You're gonna run up to the white man and embrace him in the neck and start crying and kiss him on the neck.
Yeah,
He's your,
Esau,
come on,
because
man.
Esau's the white man. He's your brother.
Come on, that stuff is
Come on,
outrageous.
you know,
man.
come on,
that's
come on,
doctrine.
come on,
That's the
you know
wildest
Esau's,
doctrine out
you
there,
know
man.
Esau's the white man. You know Esau's the white man. Stop playing.
Oh, man, that's the wildest doctrine out there, man. And God put fear and kindness toward Jacob in the hearts of the men that came with Esau, and they also kissed Jacob and embraced him. And also Eliphaz, the son of Esau, with his 4 brothers, sons of Esau, wept with Jacob, and they kissed him and embraced him, for the fear of Jacob had fallen upon them all. That means the fear of the Most High, right? Because the 4 angels were standing with him. Without the power of the Lord, you're nothing. And Esau lifted up his eyes and saw the women with their offspring, the children of Jacob, walking behind Jacob and bowing along the road to Esau. Even the children had respect, right? These little nigglets nowadays, they don't have no respect. They try to talk to you on the same level, right? They don't say no, sir, or yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You know what I mean? These kids are just ridiculous these days. And Esau,
Go
ahead, I'll lock in.
See, that's gonna be the man. If we're alive and we're going to the wilderness, man, it's gonna be hell, man, for a lot of people. Especially like you said, man, for those who don't have no respect, for those who want to downtrot the law, man, it's gonna be hard for them, man.
It says, verse 60. I'm turning over to Brother Daniel. It says, and Esau said unto Jacob, who are these with thee, my brother? Are they thy children or thy servants? And Jacob answered Esau and said, they are my children, which God has graciously given to thy servant, right? So where do children come from? Right? Children come from the Lord. I want y'all to, right? So if y'all have any, any sisters out, never mind. Go ahead. Let's go to 61. All
right.
Verse 61.
And whilst Jacob was speaking with Esau and his men, Esau beheld the whole camp. And he said unto Jacob, whence didst thou get the whole of the camp that I met yesternight? And Jacob said, to find favor in the sight of my Lord. It is that which God graciously gave thy servant. And the present came before Esau, and Jacob pressed Esau, saying, take, I pray thee, the present that I have brought to my Lord. And Esau said, wherefore is this my purpose? Keep that which thou hast unto thyself. And Jacob said, it is incumbent upon me to give all this, since I have seen thy face, and thou still livest in peace. And Esau refused to take the present, and Jacob said unto him, I beseech thee, my Lord, if I now have found favor in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For I have therefore seen thy face, as though I had seen a God-like face. Jacob's like boosting him up.
Yeah.
Dang, man. Because thou was pleased with me. Man, look, hey man, Jacob's buttering his little brother, big brother up. I guess Jacob said Esau's a piece of bread that he might have to be buttered so heavily. Man. And Esau took the present, and Jacob also gave unto Esau silver and gold and Bethlehem for the pressed, and so he pressed him to go so much that he took them. And Esau divided the cattle that were in the camp, and he gave the half to the men who had come with him, for they had come to hire, and the other half he delivered unto him of his children.
He done gave half the cattle that he done got from Laban.
I know, right?
His brother on him on.
Yep. Still doing it, boy. And the silver and gold and Bethlehem he gave into the hands of Eliphaz, his eldest son. And Esau said unto Jacob, let us remain with thee, and we will go slowly along with thee until thou comest to my place with me, that we may dwell there together. And Jacob answered his brother and said, I would do as my Lord speaketh unto me, but my Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with their young who are with me go but slowly. For if they went swiftly, they would all die. For thou knowest their burdens and their fatigue. All right. So he
Hey,
had children with him. You know.
hey, I'm gonna say something after this, but you on 669, Slocky.
Yep.
Mm.
So therefore, yeah. Let me read. I'll finish reading. You want to go and say something now, or me finish?
No. I'll let you go ahead and finish reading, and then I'll say something.
Okay. I'll read 69 and 70 then. Therefore, let my Lord pass on before his servant, and I will go on slowly for the sake of the children and the flock, until I come to my Lord's place to Seir. And Esau said unto Jacob, I will place with thee some of the people that are with me to take care of thee in the road, and to bear thy fatigue and burden. And he said, what needeth it, my Lord, if I may find grace in thy sight?
I'm gonna read some more, Slocky.
Well,
Verse
you want 71?
No,
you want
man.
71
This is the
anyway.
end. This is the end. You might as well read the rest of it.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'll read the rest of it. It says 71. And behold, I will come unto thee to Seir to dwell there together as thou hast spoken. Go thou then with thy people, for I will follow thee. And Jacob said to his this to Esau in order to remove Esau and his men from him, so that Jacob might afterwards go to his father's house to the land of Canaan. And Esau hearkened to the voice of Jacob, and Esau returned with their 400 men and were with him on their road to Seir. And Jacob and all the belongings to him went that day as far as to the extremity of the land of Canaan in its borders. And he remained there some time.
That just goes to show that even after all of that, he was sounding nice and all that, and the gifts that he gave him, the flocks that he had got from Laban and all that, the scriptures say in Sirach, never trust thine enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I mean? Hey, man, he was on him. You know what I'm saying? Because remember what the blessings always said, that he was going to be reigning over his brother. So, that was always a sore spot with them boys.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we're about an hour in. I just want to see if anybody had any questions before we move on.
All right. Gring it out. Let's gring it out. I don't know. Let's stop messing with my brother.
Did you say gring it out?
Yeah, gring it out. I'm messing with my brother, man.
Oh.
Gring it out. Let me stop. Let me stop. So let's stop messing about. All right, verse 30, chapter 33. Chapter 33. Oh, Con, I just mess with you. And in some time after Jacob went away from the borders of the land, and he came to the land of Shalem, that is the land of Shechem, that is the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, he rested in the front of the city. And he brought a parcel of the field which was there from the children of Hamor, the people of the land, for 5 shekels. Right? That seems to be pretty cheap. Oh, well, land, a whole parcel of field for 5 shekels, that's a pretty good deal. Right? And Jacob there built himself a house and pitched a tent there, and he made booths for his cattle. Therefore, he called the name of the place Succoth. All right, remember that name. Right? Remember Succoth. Remember? Wait, what do? We dwell in booths. Right? So this is where it first started right here. Right? Succoth. And Jacob remained at Succoth a year and 6 months. And that time, the women of the inhabitants of the land went to the city of Shechem to dance and rejoice with the daughters of the people of the city. And when they went forth, then Rachel and Leah, the wives of Jacob, and their families also went to behold the rejoicing of the daughters of the city. All right, they getting it in. All right. I don't know what, so they go into the party, right? Rachel, Leah, and Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, also went along with them. Oh, it's a girls' night out. Hold up. It's a girls' night out in the scriptures, right? They all going to the party. And Dinah, right, the daughter of Jacob, also went along with them and saw the daughters of the city. And they remained there before these daughters while all the people of the city were standing by them to behold their rejoicings. And all the great people of the city were there. And Shechem, the son of Hamor, the prince of the land, was also standing there to see them. And Shechem, man, see? This. And Shechem beheld Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, sitting with her mother before the daughters of the city. The damsel pleased him greatly. And he was asked his friends and his people, saying, whose daughters that sitting amongst the women, whom I do not know in this city? Uh-oh. Right? No man about. You trying to have a girl's night out, and now you're getting stalked by the prince. Come on, man. And they said unto him, surely this is the daughter of Jacob, the son of Isaac, the Hebrew, who has dwelt in the city for some time. And when it was reported that the daughters of the land were going forth to rejoice, she went with her mother and maid servants to sit amongst them, as thou seest. All right. Hey, you know what, Salakia? I remember when I said earlier that maybe they were raised according to the scriptures, but I don't think that's true, because remember, Rachel and them, they had ended up stealing the false idols. So that was my mistake in saying that. My guessing is why the Most High, why they was chosen is because probably they was just closest to the line, right? Closest to the line of Abraham and them, to the family lineage. That's about it. Because man, this is some, I don't know, right? And Shechem beheld Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, right? And when he looked at her, his soul became fixed upon Dinah, right? So you got some pervert old dude out there, right? He done saw Dinah, he done became enamored. Right, all because they out there trying to party and have a girls' night out with the heathens of the land. Come on, man. I know this ain't how it went down. You see how you get these context of these, right? You see how you get the context of what really happened, right? Through the through these hidden books. I can see that happening, right? Because that's the only way that, man, you never really see men paying attention to women if they already, if they're with their husband or they with, men that are protecting them. They're not victims, right? People don't really concentrate on them. It's only when you're out by yourself, doing your stuff is, when the creeps come out and, man, you see it in the scriptures. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And he sent and had her taken by force.
What
you
happened?
already know what that.
Read
taken
that
by
again?
Force.
What happened
And
with
he
no men
sent and had her
around?
taken. Yep. And he sent and had her taken by force.
What happens when the girls' night out? Read that again.
Something's going down. And Dinah came to the house of Shechem, and he seized her forcibly, and lay with her and humbled her. So you know what it means when they say humble. He raped her.
Yeah, Con, that's exactly
whether she didn't want the sex or not, he got him. It says, and he loved her exceedingly and placed her in his house. And they came and told the thing unto Jacob. And when Jacob heard that Shechem had defiled his daughter Dinah, Jacob sent 12 of his servants to fetch Dinah from the house of Shechem. And they went and came to the house of Shechem to take away Dinah from there. See, one thing the Israelites didn't play when it came to their to the women. All right, we protected our women like you wouldn't believe, especially if there was something that was kidnapped her and raped her. And when they came to Shechem, went out to them with his men and drove them from his house. And he would not suffer them to come before Dinah. But Shechem was sitting with Dinah, kissing and embracing her before their eyes.
Now,
and these brothers had to be.
Yeah, Con. I want to
had to be hot, boy. Go ahead,
Con. Now, this is not. You should be able to go out and, have fun. With your homegirls and not have nothing happen to you, right? But in the world that we live in, right, we have these kind of dudes and creeps that are everywhere. So this is why it's important, for women to to be to have fathers that are involved, to have their fathers there, brothers, and things of this nature, and then try to be circumspect about the things they attend and the things that they do.
It's all about protection and security, because
that's right.
Especially with women. This is like today now. You see a woman out somewhere, like see some creep, and you see a woman out just walking by herself. More than likely, if that man really wanted her, he could go up and approach her and overtake the woman, and any woman for that matter. So,
and it shouldn't be like that, because what's going to happen is that let's say, for example, if I'm not around and my daughter's out there, by herself, and some man decides to try to get my because she didn't want to listen and stay into my in my watch or around the adult. Now I got to go and kill this dude.
Yep. You'd be surprised,
Oh,
man, how many people's daughters
man.
come up missing because of that reason.
Man,
And then on top of that, with no fathers in the home, see, they back then they had the fathers protect them, but like with no fathers in the home, man, it's like open season, for our children. It's way worse. And verse 14, and the servants of Jacob came back and told him, saying, when we came, he and his men drove us away, and thus did Shechem do unto Dinah before our eyes. Right? So he said, look, man, they in there kissing your daughter, man. He's up in there kissing your daughter right now as we speak, hugging and everything.
Right, for him, his face too, man. As soon as they came in, it was like, and she had to be like, I'm talking about, like, no type situation, because she didn't want to be with that dude. That dude done kidnapped her, and then he saw the brothers walk in, and he doing some kissing her on purpose to show off in front of the brothers. Oh, he got to die. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And Jacob knew moreover that Shechem had defiled his daughter, but he said nothing. And his sons were feeding his cattle in the field, and Jacob remained silent till their return. Man, Jacob, man, I can imagine Jacob had to been like some kind of, man, just furious. And before his sons came home, Jacob sent 2 maidens from his servants' daughters to take care of Dinah and in the house of Shechem, and to remain with her. And Shechem sent 3 of his friends to his fathers, Hamor and his sons Chiddechem, the son of Pered, saying, get me this damsel for a wife. And Hamor, the son of Chiddechem, the Hivite, came to the house of Shechem. So these are, folks from the Canaanites. From Shechem, his son, and he sat before him. And Hamor said unto his son, Shechem, is there then no woman amongst the daughters of thy people, that thou wilt take a Hebrew woman who is not of thy people? That tells you how beautiful the Israelite women were, because, remember,
he was trying to hide her in the chest.
Yeah.
He was trying to hide her in the chest. So you already knew that she was super beautiful, as it was.
And Shechem said to him, her only must thou get for me. She is delightful in my sight. And Hamor did according to the word of his son, for he was greatly beloved by him. And Hamor went forth to Jacob to commune with him concerning this matter. And when he had gone from the house of his son Shechem, before he came to Jacob to speak unto him, behold, the sons of Jacob had come from the field. And as soon as they heard the thing that Shechem, the son of Hamor, had done, and the men were very much grieved concerning their sister, and they all came home fired with anger before the time of gathering in their cattle. Man, you already know what's about to go down.
They're about to get their work. And they came and sat before their father, and they spoke unto him, kindled with wrath, saying, surely death is due to this man and to his household, because the Lord God of the whole earth commanded Noah and his children that man should never rob or commit adultery. Now behold, Shechem has both ravaged and committed fornication with our sister, and not one of the people of the city spoke a word to him. Surely thou knowest and understandest that the judgment is death is due to Shechem and to his father and to the whole city on account of the thing which he's done. Oh, man, I wish, man, they right. They got to get that work. It's time to die. And while they were speaking before their father in this matter, behold, Hamor, the father of Shechem, came to speak to Jacob the words of his son concerning Dinah, and he sat before Jacob and before his sons. And Hamor spoke unto them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her unto him for a wife, and intermarry with us. Give us your daughters, and we will give you our daughters, and we shall dwell with us in our land, and we shall be as one people in the land. Now, right, through this situation, I want y'all to pay attention and see how our forefathers handled it, right? You know what I'm saying? Even though they were emotional, they were fired up, right? They never acted rashly in a situation, right? They never said the first thing that came to mind, like, this dude came to him, man, nowadays, something like one of our people would have just struck him down right there. right? And still been in, and then gave them time to get their defenses together and all kind of stuff to prepare for war against our family, right? Verse 25. So let's see how they did it. For our land is very extensive, so dwell ye and trade therein and get possessions in it, and do therein as you desire, and no one shall prevent you from saying a word to you. And Hamor ceased speaking unto Jacob and his sons, and behold, Shechem his son had come after him, and he sat before them, right? This is the same dude that done took my daughter, right? Same dude that done took my sister. He had enough balls to sit there in front of him. And Shechem spoke before Jacob and his sons, saying, May I find favor in your sight that you will give me your daughter, and whatever you say unto me that I will do for her. What, this is after you've already done kidnapped her and did what you wanted to? What? Ask me for abundance of dowry and gift, and I will give it. And whatever you shall say unto me, that I will do. And whomever he will be will rebel against your orders, he shall die. Only give me the damsel for a wife. I ain't gonna lie, man. Now this man is smitten now. And Simon and Levi answered Hamor and Shechem and his son deceitfully, saying, he asked her what? Right? The scriptures had this tell you be swift, what is it? Swift as a dove and as slick as a serpent, right?
Why is it? Yep.
Yeah, con. Right?
Why is the serpent humble as a dove?
Yep. And Simon and Levi answered Hamor and Shechem, his son, deceitfully, saying, all you have spoken unto us, we will do for you. And behold, our sister is in your house, but keep away from her until we send to our father Isaac concerning this matter, for we can do nothing without his consent.
You know what's interesting, man? Like how Shechem, how they raped Dinah, and then tried to want to marry her and then offer money. It's like that's kind of what the scripture talks about. Like if a woman is betrothed or she is raped, that man had to consult with that father, and he had to give her so much money, if she was forcibly. That's it. But that was dealing with our people, though. But it's interesting that they still had that custom as well. But still, they weren't of the same nation. So
and they were uncircumcised.
They was uncircumcised. So them blending in with Israel wasn't going to happen. But it was just interesting. But it was just interesting how they kind of had the same custom as offering money if somebody was raped. So let's go on and let's get into the 31. For he knoweth the ways of our father Abraham, and whatever he saith unto us, we will tell you. We will conceal nothing from you. And Simeon and Levi spoke this unto Shechem and his father in order to find a pretext and to seek counsel what was to be done to Shechem and to his city in this matter. And when Shechem and his father heard the words of Simeon and Levi, it seemed good in their sight. And Shechem and his father came forth to go home. And when they had gone, the sons of Jacob said unto their father, saying, Behold, we know that the death is due to these wicked ones and to their city, because they transgressed that which God commanded unto Noah and his children and his seed after them. And also because Shechem did this thing to our sister Dinah in defiling her, for such vileness shall never be done amongst us. Now, therefore, go ahead. Because it even says in, I want to say Jubilees 50, where it talks about, if any man gives his daughter to a heathen nation, they should be stoned. But in this case, she was raped. So
kidnapped.
Yeah, the kidnapper. So Jacob didn't give his daughter to anyone, any heathens, So
matter of fact, she didn't get married at all. Jacob, she stayed with her father until she never got married, because of that.
It says, now therefore know and see what you will do, and seek counsel and pretext to what is to be done to them in order to kill all the inhabitants of this city. And Simeon said to them, here is a proper advice for you. Tell them to circumcise every male amongst them as we are circumcised. And if they do not wish to do this, we shall take our daughters from them and go away. Now, you know why? Because when you circumcise grown men, they're weak for like a couple of days, stuff takes all the strength out of them. So Simeon knew what he was doing. And if they consent to do this, and will do, then when they are sunk down with pain, you see what I'm saying? With pain, because they knew that they would be so weak and with pain for so many days with the circumcision, that would be time to strike. We will attack them with our swords upon ones who is quiet and peaceable. Oh, that's crazy, bad. And will slay every male person amongst them. And Simeon's advice pleased them, and Simeon and Levi resolved to do unto them as it was proposed. And on the next morning, Shechem and Hamor, his father, came again unto Jacob and his sons to speak concerning Dinah, and to hear what answer the sons of Jacob would give their words. And the sons of Jacob spoke deceitfully to them, saying, We told our father Isaac all your words, and your words pleased him.
All right.
Oh, man.
But he's spoken to us, saying, Thus did Abraham, his father, command him from God, the Lord of the whole earth, that any man who is not of the descendants, right, that any man who is not of his descendants that should wish to take one of his daughters shall cause every male belonging to him to be circumcised as we are circumcised, and then we may give him our daughter for a wife. Now we have made known to you all of our ways, and that our father spoken to us, for we cannot do this of which you spoke unto us, to give our daughter to an uncircumcised man, for it is a disgrace to us. Right? But herein we will consent to you to give you our daughter, and we will also take unto ourselves your daughters, and will dwell amongst you and be one people as you have spoken, if you will hearken to us and consent to be like us, to circumcise every male belonging to you as we are circumcised. Right? Hey, yeah, facts, man. This is a good plan. Right? yeah, me too, Ak, man. They definitely don't come up with no plans today. Right? The only plan they come up with is to rob and steal from each other. All right. And if you will not hearken to us, now we will every male circumcised and we are circumcised as we have commanded, then we will come to you and take our daughter from you and go away. And Shechem and his father Hamor heard the words of the sons of Jacob, and the thing pleased him exceedingly. And Shechem and his father Hamor hastened to do the wishes of the sons of Jacob, for Shechem was very fond of Dana, and his soul was riveted to her. Oh man, this dude is just, man, he's doing the most. And Shechem and his father Hamor hastened to the gate of the city, and they assembled all the men of the city and spoke unto them the words of the sons of Jacob, saying, We came to these men, the sons of Jacob, and we spoke unto them concerning their daughter. And these men will consent to do according to our wishes. And behold, our land is of great extent for them, and they will dwell in it and trade in it, and we shall be one people. We shall take their daughters, and our daughters will give unto them for wives. But only on this condition will these men consent to do this thing, that every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised, as their God commanded them, and we shall have done according to their instructions and be circumcised. Then they will dwell among us, together with their cattle and possessions, and we shall be one people with them. Right? So they trying to, right? They actually believed, right? I mean, all of this, right? Because this dude done kidnapped Dana and raped her, armored and out doing all this other stuff, right, man? This is ridiculous. And when all the men of the city heard the words of Shechem and his father Hamor, then all the men of the city were agreeable to this proposal, and they obeyed and circumcised, for Shechem and his father Hamor were greatly esteemed by them, being the princes of the land. Now, man, this has to let you know that our women had to be extremely beautiful back in the days. There's only 50. I'm gonna read the rest of it. That's only 52.
That's fine. And they were well protected too,
Except for the time they wanted to go out and do their own thing.
Right. That lets you know, like, the family structure that we had back then, because it was common for the children to live with their, parents all the way up to 50s, in their 60s, share the land. But that's, not today.
And on the next day, Shechem and Hamor, his father, rose up early in the morning, and they all assembled the men of the city into the middle of the city, And they called the sons of Jacob, who circumcised every male belonging to them on that day and the next. And they circumcised Shechem and Hamor his father and the 5 brothers of Shechem. And then everyone rose up and went home, for this thing was from the Lord against the city of Shechem. Right? For it says, for this thing was from the Lord. Just like everything, right? You know, these ideas and these things is from the Lord against the city of Shechem. And from the Lord was Simon's, from where? From the Lord was Simeon's or Simon's counsel in this matter, in order that the Lord might deliver the city of Shechem into the hands of Jacob's 2 sons. Hold up now. It said,
2 sons.
Yeah, 2 sons. That's it. The whole
Not
city.
12. Yeah.
I mean, regardless if they were circumcised, if all of a sudden you start hearing the screams of people dying and stuff, even if hey, you're going to try to rise up and that adrenaline is going to kick in somewhat where you're going to try to do some battle, right?
Man, that's crazy.
645, man, against 2.
Dang.
And 260, 246. So that's about 800, 900 males, right? 900 males altogether.
That's crazy, man.
Against 2.
It says, this is what we're in chapter 34. And the number of all the males that were circumcised were 645 men and 246 children. Dang, so these children about to get killed too.
That's what I'm saying.
And we know it's talking about only males because only males are circumcised. All right, it says, but Shittim, the son of Pered, the father of Hamor, and his 6 brothers would not listen unto Shechem. Would not listen unto Shechem and his father Hamor, and they would not be circumcised, for the proposal of the sons of Jacob was loathsome in their sight. And their anger was greatly roused at this, that the people of the city had not hearkened to them. And in the evening of the 2nd day, they found 8 small children who had not been circumcised, for their mothers had concealed them from Shechem and his father's Hamor, and from the men of the city. And Shechem and his father Hamor sent to have them brought before them to be circumcised. When Shittim and his 6 brothers sprang at them with their swords and sought to slay them, and they sought to slay also Shechem and his father Hamor, and they sought to slay Dinah with them on account of this matter. I'm going to scroll up to 6. And they said unto them, what is this thing that you have done? And there no woman amongst the daughters of your brethren, the Canaanites, that you wish to take unto yourselves daughters of the Hebrews, whom you knew not before, and will do this act which your fathers never commanded you. See, and this is why, we never mix with the other nations, because they serve their other gods. Do you imagine that you will succeed through this act which you have done? And what will your answer in this affair to your brethren, the Canaanites? Who will come tomorrow and ask you concerning this thing? And if your act shall not appear just and good in the sight, what will do for your lives and me for our lives, and your not having hearkened to our voice? And if the inhabitants of the land and all your brethren, the children of Ham, shall hear of your act, saying, on account of a Hebrew woman did Shechem and Hamor his father and all the inhabitants of the city do that which they had been unacquainted, and which their ancestors never commanded them, where then will you fly, or where conceal your name, your shame, all your days before your brethren and inhabitants of the land of Canaan? So, they knew the customs of the Hebrews. They knew the customs all the way going back to Abraham. And that tells you right there that tells you right there. That tells you right there that they had a complete different custom than the Hebrews. That's why we stood out. And that's why when people say that Africans sold Africans, no, Hamites sold Hebrews. Because we were different and distinct. We had completely different. The scripture talks about Ham being a base nation. You know, they drinking blood and eating all kinds of crazy stuff. Bat brains and buffalo brains. But they still practice. Hey, look,
too.
the monkey brains. They still practice that today.
Absolutely,
Yep.
man. You
Just very base, man. They just do anything. Drink raw, man. Just drink blood, man, straight from the animal.
no, but this also goes to show you that, man, and you know, mixing up, you know, with other nations and doing all this stuff, it's not really natural,
No.
right? If you see right here, they was like, man, why you know, you got all these women of your own nation, man. Why in the world you so enamored and hooked on these, you know what I'm saying, hooked on this heathen woman where you just talking about all of us about to get circumcised all of a sudden, right? And then you done kidnapped this woman from this man. What's going on? I'm not getting down with this plan. He might be the smartest heathen in the bunch, right? He's the only one that didn't want to go get down with it. What was it? Verse 11, right? Now, therefore, we cannot bear up against this thing which you have done. Neither can we be burdened with this yoke upon us, which our ancestors did not command us. Behold, tomorrow we will go and assemble our brethren, the Canaanitish brethren, who dwell in the land, and we will all come and smite you, and all those who trust in you, that there shall not be a remnant left from you or them. All right, about to get there behind, man. He's like, I ain't down with this foolishness. You done do all this stuff because you done stole a little girl. It says, and when Hamor, the son of Shechem, and all the people of the city heard the words of Shittim and his brothers, they were terribly afraid of their lives at their words, and they repented for what they had done. And Shechem and his father answered their fathers, Shittim and his brethren, and said unto them, all the words which you spoke unto us are true. Salakia. Now, do not say or imagine in your hearts on that account of the love of the Hebrews that we did this thing that our ancestors did not command us, but because we saw that it was not their intention and desire to exceed to our wishes concerning their daughter as our taking her, except on this condition. So we hearkened to their voices and did act as you saw in order to obtain our desire from them. All right, these are some lustful, man. You know, the scriptures talking about, man, lusting after women and what happens. This is how you get destroyed. We're about to see what's about to happen. And when we shall have obtained our request from them, we will then return to them and do unto them which you say unto us. Wow. Okay. So they were trying to get them boys. Them they had claimed like we had joined together, they was gonna kill them, right? After they had stole the women. We beseech you then to wait and tarry until our flesh be healed, and we again become strong, that we'll then go together against them and do unto them that is which is in your hearts and in ours. And Dana, the daughter of Jacob, heard all these words which Shittim and his brothers had spoken, and what Hamor and his son Shechem and the people of their city had answered them. And she hastened and sent one of her maidens that her father had sent to take care of her in the house of Shechem to Jacob her father and her brothers, saying,
Thus did Shittim and his brothers advise concerning you, and thus did Hamor and Shechem and the people of the city answer them. And when Jacob heard these words, he was filled with wrath, and he was indignant at them, and his anger was kindled against them. And Simeon and Levi swore and said, as the Lord liveth, the God of the whole earth, by this time tomorrow there shall not be a remnant left in the whole city. They wouldn't plan, boy. And 20 young men had concealed themselves who were not circumcised. And these young men fought against Simeon and Levi. And Simeon and Levi killed 18 of them, and 2 fled from them and escaped to some lime pits that were in the city. And Simeon and Levi sought for them and could not find them.
Hey, that's already beast right there now. Come on, man.
Yeah.
2 against 20.
I know, man.
Hey,
and
bro,
Simeon,
man, you take that 10 and I take this 10.
Yep. And Simeon and Levi continued to go about in the city, and they killed all the people of the city at the edge of the sword. It says all the people, it didn't say some of them, and they left none remaining. And there was a great consternation in the midst of the city, and the cry of the people of the city ascended to heaven. and all the women and children cried aloud.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny, man. And Simeon and Levi slew all the city. They left not a male remaining in the whole city. Dang. Not one male, whether it be circumcised or uncircumcised. And they slew Hamor and Shechem, his son, at the edge of the sword. And they brought away Dana from the house of Shechem. And they went forth from there. And the sons of Jacob went and returned. I bet you Dana was like, you know, my brothers are going to come and kill all y'all.
I'm glad, man. Dana still had a strong spirit, man, because she was able to listen in, right? She was still being proactive, even though she was kidnapped. You know what I mean? She was listening to them boys. Oh yeah, okay, I hear what they say, man. Let me go ahead and report to my brother that these niggas talking about something, man. They about to betray him as soon as they get their strength back and kill him.
Yep. And the sons of Jacob went and returned and came upon the slain and spoiled all their properties, which was in the city and the field. You know what that means, spoiled? That means they took it. They took whatever they could take. And whilst they taking the spoil, 300 men stood up and threw dust at them and struck them with stones. And Simeon turned to them and slew them all with the edge of his sword.
Man, come on, man. 300?
And Simeon turned before Levi and came into the city. Man,
that's the power of the forefathers, man. That was about
man. Hey, you know they have some fighting skills, boy.
Gee.
Yep. That's what the blessing was going to, man. Right there.
Yeah,
man, that's why like
Abraham had to beat them boys down for a lot.
Even today, man, if you look at us today, man, we're the most powerful people still alive today, man, physically, because you look how we excel in everything. Not just sports, but everything. Intellectually, everything, man. Everything that these so-called people say that they invented, man, didn't come from them. It came from us.
Verse 31. And they took away their sheep and their oxen and their cattle, and also the remainder of the women and little ones. And they led all these away, and they opened the gate and went out and came unto their father Jacob with vigor. And the boy just said, you know what, we're going to just steal all your women, because y'all want to take one of ours. We're going to kill all you and then take all of yours. Boy, I tell you, boy, that's Israel's wow. That's just 2 of them did that. But that was like 900. They didn't kill 900 of them. 900 of them got circumcised. 300 didn't get circumcised. He killed them, and then and then those other ones. Man, so he was just, man, that was a battle right there against 2.
Sure.
But man, you know, if you think about it, man, that was better. It gets in a small city, though. If you think about it, back in those days, if it was only about, maybe 1,500 men and I guess the same amount of women or whatever.
But still though, man, for that much against just a few men, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, facts, man. I mean, that's still, that's still, superhero strength. All right, so it says, and they opened the gate and went out and came into their father Jacob with vigor. Verse 32. When Jacob saw all that they had done to the city and saw the spoil what they had took from them, Jacob was very angry at them. And Jacob said to them, what is this that you have done unto me? Behold, I obtained rest among the Canaanitish inhabitants of the land, and none of them meddled with me. And now you have done to make me obnoxious to the inhabitants of the land amongst the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And I am but a small number, and they will assemble against me and slay me when they hear of your work with their brethren, and I and my household will be destroyed. Come on now, Jacob, man. We need your faith to be boistered in the Lord here, man. What's going on here? Right? And Simeon and Levi and their brothers had answered their father Jacob and said to him, behold, we live in a land, and shall Shechem do this to our sister? Why art thou silent at all that Shechem has done? And shall he deal with our sister as with a harlot in the streets? Like, we don't play that, you know what I mean? And the number of women whom Simeon and Levi took captives from the city of Shechem, whom they did not slay, was 85 who had not known man. So there was 85 virgins, right? Oh, so the rest of them who weren't virgins, they got killed. Oh, so that goes along with the rest of how we always just do stuff in the scriptures.
Yep.
Right? And amongst them was a young damsel of beautiful appearance and a well-favored name, who was Bunah. And Simeon took her for a wife, and the number of the males which they took captive did not slay was 47 men, and the rest they slew. And the young men and the women that Simeon and Levi had taken captives earlier from the city of Shechem were servants of the sons of Jacob, and their children after them until the days of the sons of Jacob going forth to the lands of Egypt. So there was probably those, it was probably those children that had got those boys that got circumcised. They probably took them boys like the ones that were behaving probably, or probably a certain age.
Yep.
Said 47 of them. Come over here. Yeah. And when Simeon and Levi had gone forth from the city, the two young men that were left, who had concealed themselves in the city and did not die amongst the people of the city, rose up. And these young men went to the city and walked about in it, and found the city desolate without men, and only women weeping. And these young men cried out and said, Behold, this is the evil which the sons of Jacob, the Hebrew, did to the city. And their having this day destroyed one of the Canaanite cities, and were not afraid of their lives of all the land of Canaan. These men left the city and went to the city of Tapnach, and they came there and told the inhabitants of Tapnach all that had befallen them, and all that the sons of Jacob had done to them in the city of Shechem. And the information reached Jasher, king of Tapnach, and he sent men to the city of Shechem to see those young men, for the king did not believe them in this account, saying, How could two men lay waste to such a large town as Shechem?
That's some Samson stuff, though, man. That's probably where Samson
right.
get all his strength at, man. That's some Samson tower right there, man.
Brothers,
Verse 41.
powerful, man.
And the messengers of Jasher came back and told him, saying, We came unto the city, and it is destroyed. There is not a man there. Oh my gosh, there is not a man there, only weeping women. Neither is any flock or cattle there, for all that was in the city of the sons of Jacob took away. And Jasher wondered at the city, saying, How could two men do this thing, to destroy so large a city, and not one man able to stand against them? It's called being the chosen ones.
That's
It's
right.
called keep being in line with the commandments of the Most High. For the like has not been from the days of Nimrod. Dang. It says, for the likes has not been from the days of Nimrod. And not even
Nimrod
from
wore
the
skins. Remember, Nimrod had to follow the skins.
Yeah. So sometimes I wonder, man, like, remember when it talks about how Esau ended up getting the raiments and the garments and everything? I wonder when Esau sold his birthright. I wonder if that was part of the deal when he gave up the skins. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But it says, for the like as has not been in the days of Nimrod, and not even from the remotest time has the like taken place. And Jasher, king of Tapnach, said to his people, be courageous, and we will go and fight against these Hebrews and do unto them as they did unto the city. And we will avenge them because of the people of the city. And Jasher, king of Tapnach, consulted with his counselors about this matter and his advisors, and said unto him, alone thou wilt not prevail over the Hebrews, for they must be powerful to do this work to the whole city. If two of them laid waste the whole city, and he says, if two of them laid waste the whole city, and no one stood against them, surely if thou wilt go against them, they will all rise against us and destroy us likewise. So they knew, man. They already knew the deal. But if thou wilt send all the kings that surround us and let them come together, then we will go with them and fight against the sons of Jacob. Then wilt thou prevail against them. And Jasher heard the words of his counselors, and their words pleased him and his people, and he did so. And Jasher, king of Tapnach, sent all the kings of the Amorites and surrounded Shechem and Tapnach, saying, go up with me and assist me, and we will smite Jacob and the Hebrews and all his sons, and destroy them from the earth. For thus did he do to the city of Shechem, and do to you not, and you not know of it. Man. And all the kings of the Amorites heard the evil that the sons of Jacob had done to the city of Shechem, and they were greatly astonished at them. It was like, dang, man, we haven't heard nothing like this, since the days of Nimrod. And the seven kings of the Amorites assembled with all their armies, about 10,000 men with drawn swords, and they came to fight against the sons of Jacob. Dang. Hold up, man. 10,000 against 12. Well, 11 actually. Well, actually 10, because I don't think Joseph and Benjamin was in the picture at the time to fight. I think they might have been too young. Man, that's crazy, man. And the seven kings of the Amorites assembled with all their armies, about 10,000 men with drawn swords, and they came to fight against the sons of Jacob. And Jacob heard that the kings of the Amorites had assembled to fight against his sons, and Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and it distressed him. Dang.
Boy, Jacob, man. Well, Jacob's always been peaceable. You know what I'm saying? He always liked peace, man. He don't really like, really like war, but and Jacob is all right.
Now let's reverse the roles. Now, if that would have been easy, let's just say, I'm glad he didn't get the blessing, but that's if that had been Esau, Esau would have been all for it. He's been all for it.
Yeah, his wild behind probably been definitely on it. Let me stop right. All right, it says, and Jacob exclaimed against Simeon and Levi, saying, "What is this act that you did? And have you injured me to bring against me all the children of Canaan to destroy me and my household? For I was at rest, even I and my household, and you have done this thing to me and provoked the inhabitants of the land against me by your proceedings." And Judah answered his father, saying, "Was it for naught my brothers Simeon and Levi killed all the inhabitants of Shechem?" Right? Because they shouldn't have touched Dinah. So they deserved to die. Surely it was because Shechem had humbled our sister and transgressed the command of our God to Noah and his children. For Shechem took our sister away by force and committed adultery with her. And Shechem did all this evil, and not one of the inhabitants of his city interfered with him to say, "Why wilt thou do this? Surely for this my brothers went and smote the city, and the Lord delivered it into their hands, because the inhabitants have transgressed the commands of our God. It is therefore not that they have done all this." And now why art thou afraid or distressed? And why art thou displeased at my brothers? And why is thou anger kindled against them? Right? This is why Hamashiach came through the line of Judah. Right? You see the leadership just shining through when he's talking to his pops. Right? Surely our God, who delivered into their hand of the city of Shechem and its people, he will also deliver into our hands all the Canaanitish kings who are coming against us, and we will do it to them as my brothers did unto Shechem. All right, so it's going just like Brother Daniel said, right? This is just the sons of Jacob, right? The tribes of Israel, man. Well, they ain't even a tribe yet. They just brothers, right? The patriarchs, though. About to kill over 10,000 dudes by themselves. I'm talking about, man, they about to get it in. Be tranquil about them and cast away thy fears, but trust in the Lord our God and pray unto him to assist us and deliver us and deliver our enemies into our hands. Right? This is what we should be doing every day anyway, even now while we're in the land of our captivity. Right? We should be praying to the Lord for repentance, right? And that the Lord would deliver us from our enemies, right? And be destroyed. And Judah called to one of his father's servants, "Go now and see where those kings who are coming against us are situated with their armies." And the servant went and looked far off and went opposite of Mount Sion and saw all the camps of the kings standing in the fields. And he returned to Judah and said, "Behold, the kings are situated in the field with all their camps, a people exceedingly numerous, like unto the sand upon the seashore." And Judah said unto Simeon and Levi and unto all his brethren, "Strengthen yourselves and be sons of valor, for the Lord our God is with us. Do not fear them." Stand forth each man, grit with his weapons of war, his bow and his sword, and we will go and fight against these uncircumcised men. The Lord is our God. He will save us. Man, that's how you're supposed to get down right there, man.
That's right.
That's it, you know what I'm saying?
Is that it? Or you scroll to 61?
No.
Or is that it?
No. That's 61. Yeah. Keep going.
All right. And they rose up, and each girt on of his weapons in war, great and small, 11 sons of Jacob, and all the servants of Jacob with them, and all the servants of Isaac who were with Isaac in Hebron. All right. So we still had other men with the sons of Jacob as well, too. And all the servants of Isaac who were with Isaac in Hebron all came to them equipped in all sorts of war instruments. And the sons of Jacob and their servants, being 112 men, all right, went towards these kings. And Jacob also went with them. So even 112 against 10,000 men, that's still, man, that is still crazy. And the sons of Jacob sent unto their father Isaac and the son of Abraham to Hebron, the same in Kirith Arba, saying, "Pray, we beseech thee for us unto the Lord our God to protect us from the hands of the Canaanites who are coming against us, and to deliver them into our hands." And Isaac, the son of Abraham, prayed unto the Lord for his sons, and he said, "O Lord God, thou didst promise my father, saying, I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven. And thou didst also promise me, and established thou thy word. Now that the kings of Canaan are coming together to make war with my children, and because they committed no violence." It's about to be on. You want to scroll that up?
No, that's right. Man, but I like how they prayed, right? They're always praying to the Most High about all these situations that they're in, right? They're not trying to do it on their own or lean on their own understanding, right? They're asking for the Most High, you know what I mean, to help them out, help them out of these situations. Yeah.
It's like, always the Most High for us, though. And just like go on, always pray to the High to our enemies in hand. It says, "Now, O Lord God, God of the whole earth, pervert, I pray thee, the counsel of the kings, and they may not fight against my sons, and impress the hearts of these kings and their people with the terror of my sons, and bring down their pride, and that they may turn away from my sons." And that's the power that coming down from the Most High, man. "And with thy strong hand and outstretched arm, deliver my sons and their servants from them. For the power and might are in thy hands to do all this." And the sons of Jacob and their servants went toward these kings, and they trusted in the Lord their God. And whilst they were going, Jacob their father also prayed unto the Lord and said, "O Lord God, powerful and exalted God, who has reigned from days of old, from thence till now and forever." Man, can you imagine, man, just living in that time, and you want a Jacob's son, and you're just, man, you're fighting for righteousness. It says, thou art he who stirreth up wars and causeth them to cease. In the hand are the powers and might to exalt and to bring down. Oh, may my prayer be acceptable before thee, and that thou mayest turn to me with thy mercies, to impress the hearts of these kings and their people with the terror of my sons, and terrify them and their camps, and with thy great kindness deliver all those that trust in thee. For it is thou who canst bring people under us and reduce nations under our power. Man, I wish our people understood this today,
Jacob.
Man. Yeah.
Jacob bringing it out, man. That's what I'm talking about. That was a good prayer right there, Jacob set forth.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's it right there.
All right, Israel. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna stop at 34, Israel, and we're gonna open up the floor if you got any questions or anything like that,
or if you still believe Esau's the white man.
Yeah, if you still believe that Esau's the white man, we'll go ahead. And,
we'll entertain it. We'll entertain it.
And we'll deal with you. Hopefully everybody understands that that's not really possible, but we'll see.
We'll be glad to make a little laughing stock out of you, but hey, at the same time, we'll give you some good correction.
Yeah, a good fellowship, you know what I mean? Brotherly
right.
love. That's what we'll
That's
call
right.
it, right? Brotherly love.
I think everybody on here, man, in the chat live, man, is on cue. You know,
Right,
on par.
right. So, what do y'all think about the, just the extra details that we're getting from these, from these hidden books, right? Do y'all find it interesting, or do y'all,
Mhm.
does it make more sense now about how things went down in Genesis, right?
Mhm. Well, you
Right?
know, if you read the book of Chronicles, it mentions the book of Jasher, it mentions the book of Jubilees. You know, it'll say like, was this not written in the book of Jasher? Was this not written in the book of Jubilees? So it mentions. It also mentions the book of the giants. But you know, there's
absolutely.
still a lot of lost books that just haven't been recovered. You know, it's just been lost over
Wars of the
time.
Lord, the book of the Wars of the
I
Lord.
truly, I
I know
truly
that would have
believe,
been a
man.
good book.
When Hamashiach comes back, man, I bet you in the wilderness, man, we're gonna have a temple like you never seen before, man, and all our lost books, man, are gonna be restored. Even the lost books of Enoch.
I hope we get something like a mental data upgrade or something like that when we get our spiritual body, because it says we're not going to have to tell our brother to know the Lord or whatever. So hopefully
right.
it's just going to come with everything's going to be known about how our forefathers were this or that. It's not going to be a secret or any kind of misunderstandings. That's what I'm talking about. I'm waiting for that kind of stuff.
Man, that's gonna be awesome.
God, all praises to the Most High, man. All praises to the Most High for y'all saying that y'all like and y'all find it interesting and things of that nature. Yeah, man. A lot of these books, like especially if you just cross-represent from Jasher to Jubilees to Genesis and the rest of the books of the Bible, right? You'll find how it, it all connects the dots, and it all complements each other. There isn't really, there isn't any contradictions in it. That's right, and it gives you more context too on like what's really going on. You know what I mean? Because then you'll be like, well, you would have never known that Rachel and Leah were twins, right? Because it doesn't say that in Genesis. It doesn't tell you that Rachel and Leah were twins. So that way you would be like, man, come on, man. Jacob didn't know he was sleeping with Leah. Man, there's no way. But now you see, because they're twins. That's how, he got fooled into thinking that was Rachel when it was really Leah. It's just a lot of nuances and context that you get throughout these hidden books that help you really get a greater picture of the scriptures, or help answer questions that you may have had about I don't really believe that because this doesn't really seem real, until you really get the context and you'll be like, oh man, okay, now I understand how that could be possible, right? Yeah, context is important. Context is definitely important. It's a good thing about these books that I like too.
Yeah.
But this doesn't mean you just because you read these books, right? Hey, you definitely do not become rusty, or when the in the other books, reading Genesis to Revelation in the 66, right? You still gotta read that too, along with everything else, so you get a complete understanding.
For sure.
It seemed like it was too dark for him to see. Yeah, I know, because the Christian church, Christian church. Oh Lord have mercy, I don't even want to talk about them folks. Man, that has got our folks in a hog noose. Christian church.
It ain't gonna ever stop either, man, because it's turned into a business, man, and now it's a concert show now.
Weak eyes just means she couldn't see, brother.
Yeah, she was blind. She wasn't blind. She wasn't blind, but
blind, but she couldn't see. She would have needed glasses in today's times. In other words,
right.
She would have needed glasses in today's times. That's why Jacob, she had tender eyes, tender mean that she couldn't see good. That's all that is.
Yeah. I think people think that. I think some people he might have thought that meant like she was maybe older or something, but no, that's not the case.
Hold on, let me see. Let me see.
Because it did say in the book of Jasher they were twins. You looking up Tender-eyed?
Nah.
I was about to say we already looked that one up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if there's any questions or anything like that. But I'm gonna look it up now though. Let me see.
It says, I understood it to mean that Leah was not as pleasant to the. That's what some of the Christian churches teach. I've seen some of them teach that, but no, that's not the case. It was just that, in today's time, if she needed glasses back then, they didn't have that kind of technology. So, because even today, like kids, babies, toddlers, wearing glasses because they got the technology to detect those kind of things now. Back then, it was either you couldn't hardly see or you just had to deal with it.
I'll go to let me see. Pull up. Let me see. We should
We trying to look up?
No, I was just gonna that's already my jump acting up.
Huh?
No, I was looking at my doggone my screen was acting up. Let me see. This in here. There we go. All right, boom.
You might want to bring it on the screen.
All right, Con. All right. Oh, you can't see it? Okay, sloppy.
Nope.
All right, let me bring it up on the screen. All right, Israel. So if we go to the lexicon, right, and you see right here, right, tender, spoken of little children, Genesis, cattle, tender, young flesh, right? And here, what we're talking about, weak, dull eyes, which is considered a defect, right? So we're talking about a person that she couldn't see, right? That's what it was talking about, dealing with her eyes. Just so you know, I'm talking about the same one, right? We're talking about this soft, tender, delicate, weak. It's not, so when it talks about what was it, Rachel? Not Rachel, but Leah with tender eyes, it just means that her eyeballs, unfortunately, she couldn't see that good. You know what I mean? That's all it was to it. Right. Just so you know, right?
If they had glasses back then, in those days, she would have been wearing glasses.
All right. Genesis 29:17. Just so you know, we're going to the right one, right? So back in those days, right, you don't want to really have children with somebody that's, I mean, you do, but you're not going to really, a lot of us, we bred for, strong genetics, just like how Saul was picked out to be a king, right? King Saul was taller than everybody else. And, he was most, the Most High said, had he obeyed, that his bloodline would have ruled Israel forever. Right. So, the Most High, he's not about, remember, man, if you have a flat forehead or something like that, man, you couldn't even come into the temple. The Lord didn't want you in the temple, right? You had a flat nose or you had some kind of, physical flaw, man. The Most High, he didn't even want you even coming into the temple. So the Most High, he's about, proper genetics and things of that nature. I know it sounds wild, but, and so a lot of us, we bred for, top genetics back in those days. She was beautiful, though. All right. Got any other questions? The world, I think the world's beautiful. It's throwing it off. I think the word beautiful is throwing. Oh yeah, Khan. Yeah. It's talking about like, facial features and all that other good stuff. And she was beautiful, but she just had poor eyesight. Same thing with Leah. Leah was fine too, but except for she could see. So it was more dealing with her, I guess. Not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. All right, Israel. We don't got any other questions or anything like that. I'm gonna turn it over to Brother Daniel. Close us out. Just said.
All right. All right, Yashua. Hey, that was a really good read. Thank all praise to the Most High that you all were able to join on with us. We're going to be in the book for a while. So if you have anything in the future, like especially if you want to do a read ahead, kind of prepare yourselves and write some questions down. We can definitely go over that. Oh, here's one more right quick. It says, so Dana never was able to get married and bear offsprings due to the abominable transgression to her. I don't think the scripture even mentioned her being married.
I
I don't
Nah,
think
man,
it.
she never got married. She never
I
got
don't think
married, and
so.
she never had
Yeah.
any children.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, because yeah, I mean, I remember now in the scriptures it says that you know, in Jubilees 50. Let me see. Let me bring that up real quick. Like Brother
Yeah,
Dane
yeah.
was
Go ahead.
saying
Yeah, yeah. Go
earlier.
ahead and read that out right quick. But yeah, but as far as
Yeah.
Dinah, I don't remember anything about her even being married. You know, if it is, I haven't read it. I haven't come across it yet.
Where's the Jubilees 50?
Mm-hmm.
No,
It's towards the end. Jubilees 50.
I thought it was Jubilees 30 and 5. I think it's Jubilees 30.
We talking about where it talks about giving if you give your daughters to a heathen nation.
Yeah. Yeah, here it is. It's 30 and 5, right?
35. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It says, and thus let it not again be done from henceforth. See, right? Okay, boom, right. So this is actually concerning the situation that we had that was reading earlier, right? So let me just read from the beginning, right? Boom. Right. And in the first year of the 6th week, he went up to Salem, to the east of Shechem in peace in the 4th month, and there carried away Dinah, right, the daughter of Jacob, into the house of Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, the prince of the land, and he lay with her and defiled her, and she was a little girl, a child of 12 years, right? So we know now that, you know, not only that, this dude was a pedophile, so, you know, he had to damn die, right? So it says, and he besought his father and her brothers that she might be given to him, his wife, and Jacob and his sons was wroth because of the men of Shechem, for they defiled Dinah and his sister, and they spake with them with the evil intent. So, right. So we see, right, that this is dealing with Dinah right now, right? This is all because of Dinah, right? So we should see what's going to happen, right? If you date a heathen, right? This is why it's important for the sisters to never be dealing with no zaddy or any of these damn heathens out here, because you see what happened right here, right? Dinah was with a heathen right here, and you know, and Simeon and Levi came unexpectedly to Shechem and executed judgment on all the men of Shechem and slew all the men that were found in it. And they left not a single one remaining in it. And they slew all in torments because they had dishonored their sister Dinah. And thus let it not again be done from henceforth that a daughter of Israel be defiled, for judgment is ordained in heaven against them, that they should destroy with the sword all the men of Shechemites, because they had wrought shame in Israel. And the Lord delivered the hands of the Jacob, that they might exterminate them with the sword and execute judgment upon them, and that it may not be thus again done in Israel, that a virgin of Israel shall be defiled. And if there is any man who wishes in Israel to give his daughter or his sister to any man who is the seed of the Gentiles, he shall surely die. Right? So if you're a dad and you okay with your sauce, and you don't say with your daughter dating a heathen, womp womp, right? That's also a sin unto death. I bet you didn't know that, right? You better repent. Right? If you're a man, I don't care if she dates Brad. Oh yeah, okay. Well, guess what? You know what I'm saying? You don't care if she gonna date Brad. The Lord said you gotta get put to death. So guess what? You going to the lake of fire. Right? It says, who is a man who is the seed of the Gentiles, he shall surely die, and they shall stone him with stones, for he have wrought shame in Israel, and they shall burn the woman with fire, because she has dishonored the name of the house of her father, and she shall be rooted out of Israel. Yeah, you too, right? If you're a woman that like to deal with heathen women, heathen men, goodbye, right? You know what I'm saying? You go into the lake of fire too. And let not an adulteress and no unclean be, let no adulteress and no uncleanness be found in Israel throughout all the days of the generations of the earth. For Israel is holy to the Lord, and every man who has defiled it shall surely die. They shall stone him with stones. For thus it has been ordained and written in the heavenly tablets regarding all the seed of Israel, who defileth it shall surely die, and he shall be stoned with stones.
There's another one right here. So it says, so Israelite men can go into any race of women. What happened to the seed to be holy? So that's only under certain circumstances. So if you read Deuteronomy chapter 21, anytime the Israelites went to war, they could take heathen women as spoils, all right? But they had to be servants, and their children had to be servants. They could not be put on a throne. They had to be
virgins too.
Right. They had to be virgins. So under certain circumstances, but But outside of that, no, because Tobit specifically says that we are to marry within our own tribes, marry within our own people. So
You
no.
gotta understand, like those were like handmaids and stuff like that. Those are, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like whenever we went to war and did
Yeah.
all that stuff.
That was the only time that we could do that, and we wouldn't. So, and then also before they went into the land, and if you read the last two books of Ezra, they had to get rid of the heathen wives.
That's right.
So, but in the land of our captives, there's really no rule that stated that they could not marry heathen women, only under those circumstances. So, hope that helps answer your question.
But yeah, man, there are no mamzeers. You have mamzeers, mixed seeds, or whatever, man. Them children are not getting into heaven. If you're a woman and had 2 baby daddies and your second child, and had a second child with another dude, that child is not getting to the kingdom. It's getting destroyed. Yeah, if you don't read the scriptures, it says it says it is good and holy and wise for those to understand and read the laws of the Most High, right, and obey Him. It says, and to this law there is no limit of days and no remission, nor any atonement, but the man who has defiled his daughter shall be rooted out into the midst of all Israel. Oh yeah, Slakia, yeah, but man, this is a lot of stuff that's happened behind Dana right here about this reading is we will not give our daughters to the uncircumcised, and a reproach. You're not supposed to, man, it is a reproach to Israel for those who live and those that take the daughters of the Gentiles, for this is unclean and abominable to Israel, right? So, men too, right? You're not supposed to be, dealing with the heathens, right? Not at all. It says, Israel will not be free from this uncleanness if it has a wife of the daughters of the Gentiles, or given any of the daughters to a man who is any of the daughters of the Gentiles, but there will be plague upon plague and curse upon curse, and every judgment and plague and curse will come upon him if he do this thing, or hide his eyes from those who commit uncleanness, and those who defile the sanctuary of the Lord, or those who profane his holy name. Will the whole nation together be judged for all the uncleanness and profanity of this man? Now, if you notice, right, the lowest marriage, the lowest marriages, right, that get divorced the most are what? Are interracial marriages, right? Or interracial marriages. Those are the worst ones out of all of them. Even worse than the ones that we have in our people, right? You need to just stick with your own, right? It don't make any sense. Like, why would you mate with just like Jacob, and you've seen that he was not really interested in getting Leah for a wife because she had she needed glasses. It should be the same thing that you look at an albino or any of these other heathens, and they'd be like, why would I share my seed with this, with these weak genes, with this weak genetics, right? Why would I give my seed to any of this, right? Why would I try to, bring up a child, with these weak genetics? Man, you ever see them mixed children and how much behavioral problems they have and how crazy they are? That's because you're not supposed to be mixing those genes with those low genetics. That is you're not supposed to be mixing with recessive genes.
Well, you create a new race. That's why I hate when people call mamzeers or mixed people still black, because if you take they're not. If you take a Hebrew man and a white woman, they have a baby. That baby is neither white or black. It's a completely new race of people, and that's always been abominable unto the Most High. You cannot mix. The Most High didn't even like us mixing fabrics.
Facts. Absolutely.
So why would you want to mix seed?
We told you already, he was a separate people, right?
But it's become. But the thing is, in our day and time, it's become so normalized, though. Like, to talk against it makes you seem like a racist, because, the scriptures, the Most High has never changed, man. It's just that man has corrupted so much on this earth that, like it says in Isaiah 5:20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, and that's what it's become. So mixing amongst the other races, man, is so normalized amongst our people now. Matter of fact, it's praised, actually. They love that mixed baby with that good hair. I mean, that's like the thing now, and the new black is becoming the mamzer now. So yeah, I mean, nothing's changed with the Most High. It's still the same. It's still abominable in His sight.
Mm. Hey man, so just like we say every week, the best thing for us to do is just keep these commandments. That's it, right?
Yep.
Be a good son or be a good daughter to the Most High, and do what He tells you. You know what I mean? Obey the laws, statutes, and commandments, and there's a reward. There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for those that obey. But if you want to continue being belligerent, right, obtuse, and doing whatever the hell you want to do, the Lord got a place for you. And it's not going to be in the kingdom. You can best believe that. It's going to say, the Lord say it's going to have worms, right? It's going never mind. Yeah, come on. Someone said we will not be judged by God's word. Someone said we will not be judged by God. Oh, man, I know nobody say that, because we definitely, right? You will be judged by God's words, right? He will tell you, he will let you know what time it is.
That's right.
Off the top. Yeah, you're gonna be judged by your own actions. Really, it's gonna be your own actions that you take you down.
Yep. Man, and I was thinking this morning, I was thinking about the fallen angels, man, and how much corruption they caused upon the earth. And it's like, dang, man. Like, we as the chosen, man, we didn't have to allow that influence on us. If we would have just obeyed, man, and kept the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes, man, we'd have been on top of the world. But dang, man, it's like, we had to go and let's go backwards, man. This is why we got so many problems. This is why brothers like me and Aton have to get on here every week, man. And, we have to blow this trumpet, man, and we have to sound like broken records all the time.
I don't mind it.
Because y'all don't mind it either. But, at the same time, it never had to be that way. None of our people had to die, man. We could have been, man, we could have still been under the rule of King David, still in that same scenario. But you know how the ball bounces sometimes. You don't want to do right.
Man. All right, Israel. If we don't have any other questions, just pray. Make sure y'all keep the commandments so y'all don't get destroyed. Right? We're not trying to be in the same boat as these wicked ass heathens. Even we got a chance to live. We got a chance. They don't have a chance.
Right.
We got a chance, and so we need to take it. Right, man. And just when that time comes, whether you be resurrected to, hopefully you be resurrected to redemption instead of being resurrected to condemnation, and then you'll be able to see all the heathens, right? All the people that just get on your nerves and all that other stuff that those heathens are just rotting. I mean, rotting and suffering into the lake of fire, being destroyed. Meanwhile, you're on to the new plan, on to the new earth, to the new heaven. With your brothers and sisters that keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You got right. Moses there, Noah, right? All man, you got all the homies.
That's what's going to make this one so great, man, because nobody's going to buck. You're going to have the 144,000, man. We're going to have a governing force to be reckoned with if anybody tries to buck. 24 elders, man, 12 disciples. Man, we're going to have all the old heads, man, in power so that we, this generation don't be trying no mess.
I'm gonna be somewhere out on the edge of the earth, I'm out on the edge of the new earth. It's
gonna have to be, man. Yeah, it's gonna have to be, man. We can't have human kings, man, as before, because that just only led to destruction, led to pride, wickedness, too much pride, too much ego, man. You give an earthly man too much credit, man, and give him too much. He gets puffed up, don't know what to do with himself, gets too high and mighty. What happened to Solomon? King David almost got to that point, man, when he took that man's wife and had him killed to get Bathsheba. But the Most High had to rebuke him in the long run by killing one of his sons and causing trouble in his whole house. So the Most High is not a respecter of person. When he says obey, it means obey.
Man, I was thinking about eternal life, man. That'll be great. Sit back on the new earth, man. Hopefully in my corner of the earth, You know, just with my little hammock and my little hut, so my little
Mhm.
area, you know, out in wilderness, just enjoying, hopefully by a lake somewhere. You know, just living out, you know, thousands and thousands of years. You know what I mean? You can just, man, that'd be great. Just peaceful. Had to worry about nobody doing nothing crazy, man. All your whole brothers, you could probably just transform into a bird or fly over there or move like lightning, like the scriptures say. I could just transport over there or teleport over to where my brothers are at doing
Yep.
the feast. Man, that'll be a great time, man.
Every time I see you know what they call a shooting star, man. Every time I see that in luminaries, man, for some reason, man, I'm thinking it's angels teleporting somewhere, man, doing righteousness or something, you know, doing work. When you see like a little streak across the sky that was so fast, man. To me, I always thought the angels were teleporting or something.
Well, yeah, man, could be, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thinking a piece of the firmament be chipped off. You know what I mean? A piece of the firmament and chipped off. And it's
I doubt that very seriously, man. Most I got a strong firmament, boy.
Oh man, they can't never
Ain't
break the
nothing-
firmament, man.
No.
They ain't never gonna break that.
No.
They gonna fire as many. Elon can fire as many missiles as he want to up top. They ain't gonna do a damn thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, Yasharel. Well, hey, until next time, by the grace of the Most High, we'll see you next week. And with that being said, we're going to bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
And stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.
Sir.